All right. Could Bitcoin actually reach 200,000? Well, according to Fundstrat predicted a rise in the price of Bitcoin to 200,000. Is that really possible? We're going to go over that today. The managing partner of the investment research company, Tom Lee, explained who is currently holding back the first cryptocurrency from rapid growth. Now, at the moment, the baby boomer generation is not investing in Bitcoin. That is actually coming from Tom Lee, which is the managing partner at investment research firm Fundstrat Global Advisors. Now, he told this to CNBC. In his opinion, this is the main reason that it keeps the price of Bitcoin at the current level. I'm not too sure if they actually believe in that, but if baby boomers start buying Bitcoin en masse, its price will rise to 200,000, Lee believes. Now, maybe so, there's a lot of baby boomers, but for me, it's really hard to believe because not so many of the geriatrics out there, these baby boomers, people in their 60s or 70s, are willing to risk big money into Bitcoin right now, especially with this volatile state. But he believes that 76% of all wealth in America is controlled by people over 65, and nearly 100 trillion is owned by people who think that Bitcoin is still some kind of hobby. Now, this was explained by that partner of Fundstrat. Now, according to Lee, transparent regulation of cryptocurrencies can help promote the adoption of Bitcoin by baby boomers. But on February 16th, Bitcoin is trading around 43.4 thousand, and that's capitalization is 827 billion. Of course, that's according to CoinGecko. But in November 2021, the value of the cryptocurrency updated its all-time high at around 69K. Since then, the asset has fallen by 37%. Now, earlier, the trader Nicholas Martin predicted that the price of Bitcoin by the end of 2022 will exceed 200K. If we're going by Martin's words, this will happen only if the capitalization of the cryptocurrency does not fall below 600 billion in that near future. That's a pretty bold statement coming from them. Of course, if everybody invested in crypto, of course, it would reach probably a billion by then, but that's not exactly a logical thing. But let's take a look at the market sitting right now for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is entering a death cross from what it looks like. So Bitcoin is really not in a good position. When we're speaking about the volume side of it, nobody's really buying into Bitcoin right now, and the price is lower. But the thing is about that, that's not necessarily a bad thing because we don't want to see uh, low amounts of volumes and a higher price. It's just really signifying a bubble in that matter. But to see this is really, honestly, really typical. Now, could it actually be that Bitcoin reached a cap on that, a market cap? That's possible too, but from what I'm seeing, if we're really looking at things, it looks like we're kind of going into a head and shoulders movement. If you're looking at the screen right now, you can kind of see we kind of have that going on right now. That's really kind of playing a big role, but we don't want to see this. And Bitcoin truly does need to stay above 37,000 to really start making some big pumps. When we're looking into this pattern that we have going on right now, kind of that buildup of that shoulder. It could pull out. Of course, it would only be and towards the middle of March before it really starts to pull in. I do believe that Bitcoin can reach around 50K around the middle of March, in April, beginning of April. That's what I'm assuming it's going about 55,000. If giving everything is all right, but right now it looks like it's still going to continue to drop as we're entering that death cross here. We were hoping the exact opposite, as we were saying in the last video. It did have that sign that it could. However, it had different plans. Of course, like from the 17th, it just completely just fell off the cliff. But Bitcoin is one of those coins too. When we're looking at the other time frames as well, is very unstable. For speaking about 2021 March, we kind of had a big pump coming into March, but we also had a big fall in too. Let's take a look here at that lower time frame. February of last year, it completely fell in, right, around the same time as well. I had a pump around the same time, right, that kind of sideways movement that we're seeing, and towards February it kind of fell down, reaching around what 45,000 at that time, and then it started to move into around March. It really started to pump, and about middle of March, what I was speaking about, really did start moving in. So we can have a replay of that coming in now. So it does kind of set up for that. But looking at Ethereum, Ethereum's kind of doing the same thing, moving in a wedge pattern. It's also getting really, really close to the death cross as well. And when I say it's getting close, I mean it's very, very not good. It does look like it's going to kind of go down. It looks like we're going to start a downtrend. It could come back and retest. Give it 2 days or 3 days, and we will really see if it's going to come back to this level and we re-enter this range, maybe reverse out of that, and actually start making some money. It's sitting at around 27.88 right now. Not the worst that it could be, but definitely not as good as it could be too. So we're kind of sitting in there. It could move in, giving if it just touches back. We definitely want to see that really coming in. We were hoping the same thing in the last videos. It's just following that same. We were hoping that we kind of follow through, but in a positive note coming in, and it's still good. It's going to follow suit with Bitcoin. So of course, what Bitcoin does, Ethereum will kind of follow in. So of course, if it kind of reverses out, it'll come back up. But so much is going on right now. Ukraine, Russia is happening. Right, you have the Fed speaking, you have Canada and all of that. So it's really kind of pushing that into a hole. If we're speaking about XRP, XRP too is one of those coins sitting at around 77 cents. Right now, not so great. It is starting to pull in. It is starting to reject the sell a little bit, just almost barely. Also entering across here. Really a lot of selling power going on. If we really didn't see that kind of reverse in, some more buyers entering the market, at least getting out of this middle margin to come up, even if it stays going in a range. But it does look it's consolidating for the most part for the last couple of weeks and building up and pumping, and it could still pump back up. The same thing I'm going to say again to middle March is really going to give a telltale sign. But 2 or 3 days, you should see it enter right back up in all hopes, of course. Still too close to call, but if we can reach back to 81 around where we don't want to be low with 81 with XRP. We don't want to see it getting but any lower than that. But I don't think it will drop below and retesting that support, that previous support of around 58. I don't think it's going to go back there, but I mean, of course, anything is possible in crypto. All right. As far as Matic goes, also some kind is starting to form a bit of a wedge pattern kind of going on to the same thing. Of course, the next day it is starting to re-enter this. It looks like it's starting to continue to do the downtrend. The same thing too. It's not. I don't think it's really going to really touch $1.45, but it could. It could potentially do that, of course. But it is stabilizing as far as the volume goes. It could pick back up. We need to see it actually enter in the upside of that margin of that center piece, and we'll see where it goes. But looking at the market as a whole, it's actually really ugly. Bitcoin went down by 6.89% for the daily, almost 6% for the weekly. Ethereum's down by 5 and 5 for the weekly and the daily. Give and take some. XRP is around 2.86, 2.12 for the weekly, still not the greatest. Matic 7 and 8, still very ugly. Double digits for crypto.com. Litecoin's down double digits by 12 points. So the entire market, honestly, is looking really ugly. You can blame Trudeau to that, I believe. It's probably the more progressive than anything. Everything could really take a big turn coming in, especially if Russia decides to accept it as a currency. Even if it's heavily regulated, it's still a big push. So good things to be about. Now, Axie Infinity, I'm usually pretty bullish about this coin, but it's sitting pretty low right now. We'll see what's going to come. You're going to see this market really take a big turn, of course, in March. Around March 8th, I'm really expecting it to really pump back up. We'll see where it goes. In other news, though, we do have something big happening. Sentiment. Now, analysis did name a promising token from the Metaverse segment recorded a significant increase in trading activity for one of the altcoins. Now, the analytical company reported that at the moment there is a significant increase in trading in WeMix Metaverse token. Now, Sentiment did say that it's a similar situation that was reserved with decentralized mana token before its price rose by 75% at the end of January. On the 17th of February, though, WeMix token is trading at $6, and over the month, the altcoin has fallen in price by 3%. Now, in November, the cryptocurrency updated its all-time high above $24. Since then, the asset fallen in price by 75%. Now, earlier, an investment company, CoinShares, named the most popular altcoins among large investors. And last week, in addition to investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum, institutions investors were mostly active investment instruments based on Terra Luna, Tezos, and Cosmos altcoins. So some big things kind of going with that. It was even tweeted to by sentiment, right? So checking on Metaverse assets, we are seeing that WeMix is seeing a massive volume surge, but its price has yet to react. Decentraland has also shown the major development activity levels, which has very likely correlated with its 2022 pricer. So definitely check that out, kind of follow along with that. Be sure to watch that, see what it does. It could make some big moves, and only time will tell from that. So maybe we'll actually start to see that. So do check out Terra Luna. It's not doing too bad. Tezos and Adam, and follow along. Guys, thank you for staying with me. Do subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell, get your latest news.